But before we start our discussion, I have a picture here. So I want you to tell me and what is your idea about this picture. So I have a picture here. So this picture is a picture of what? Water. Next is a picture of salt. So what happened if you mix water and salt? What would happen? Yes, if they will mix, what happened to the salt? Okay, the salt will dissolve. Do you know what is that process called? No? Okay, that's good. Later on, we'll discover what is that process called. But if we mix this water and salt, they will make a this is a combination of water substance and a salt substance. Okay, now let's proceed to our discussion. But before that, let's read our objective first. So, please, objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students are expected to K. Define solution and its components. S. Differentiate the two types of components. A. Recognize the importance of solutions in our everyday life. So, our topic for today is called the components of solution. So, does anyone have idea what is solution? Okay. Solution is a mixture. Okay, another. Solution is a process. Okay. See, let's start our discussion. So, a solution. So, a solution is a specific type of mixture where one substance is dissolved into another. So, your answer earlier was correct. It is a mixture and it is a process. It is a process of mixture where one substance and one substance being mixed. And not just that, where it is also where there is also a process where one substance is being dissolved, meaning mawala siya. Also, solution has its characteristics. So, first, its characteristic, it is uniform or homogeneous, meaning they are all similar. Well, no. Next is it can't be separated by filtering. So its particles are too small that even filtering it cannot be separated. Next is it doesn't change over time or settle. So meaning solution will not change. They will stay the same after time. And lastly, it doesn't scatter a beam of light. So when you flash a beam of light to a solution, the beam of light will not scatter because the beam of light will the solution has its particles are too small. That's why the beam of light will not scatter, or the beam of light the particles of solution are too small that the beam of light will just flow directly and no light will be something like makaharang. So, do you understand what is a solution? What is solution again? It is a process of what? It is a process of a solution. It's a process of mixture where one substance is being dissolved onto another substance. Now let's proceed to components of solution. Here is the next discussion. So since we're done with discussing what is solution, let's proceed to the its components of solution. So first let's talk about the first component, solute. Solute is the substance being dissolved by another substance. So basically, this solute, it is the substance that being dissolved into another substance. So meaning, this is solute. For example, this is solute, and this is a substance, another substance, and this is solute. And you put this substance here, the solute will dissolve. Understood? Okay. So let's proceed to another example. Solvent. Solvents is the substance that dissolves other substance. So it is the opposite of the solute, because solute it is the one that being dissolved, meanwhile solvent is the one who dissolve. So as I have explained earlier, this is, for example, this solute and this is another substance. If you put the solute here, they will dissolve, and the one who dissolve, it is called what? Solvent. Very good. So let's think, for example, a cup of water and a spoon. Oh, let's say this cup has water and this spoon has a salt. So when this salt is called solute and this water is solvent. So when we pour the solute into the water, the salt will dissolve. So if you mix that, and that is called solution. With that, you create a solution already. Another example, a cup of salt and a spoon of sugar. So if we put the sugar into the water, the sugar will dissolve, and you just created a solution. So where is the solution and solvent there? The solute is the sugar, correct. The solvent is the water. Okay, very good. So since this topic, we're finished discussing what are solution and its components, let's proceed to the terms or concepts that relates to solution. First is dissolving. So dissolving is when the solutes break up from large crystal to molecules into a much smaller molecules. So basically, this dissolving is the process of when large molecules are being breaks up from a smaller molecules. So for example, salt. So when the salt has poured into the water, its molecules are in the process of dissolving, where let's say, for example, this is the molecules of salt, and when you put it in the water, the salt molecules will dissolve, meaning its particle will get smaller and smaller. So that is dissolving. Next is solubility. Solubility is a measurement of how much solute can be dissolved into a solvent. Basically, this solubility, it is the measurement of how many substance a solvent can dissolve. So let's say, for example, this cup of water can dissolve a spoon of sugar. This cup of this cup of water can dissolve a spoon of sugar. So that is solubility. It is the measurement of how many solute can a solvent dissolve. Next is saturated. Saturated is when a solution reaches to the point where it cannot dissolve a solute. So it is saturated. It is the process where the solvent cannot dissolve the solute anymore. So let's say I have let's say the water is half, and I have also let's say I have also a cup of salt. If I put the salt here in the water, and since the water has more volume than the water cannot dissolve to the salt because the salt has more volume than the water. So that is saturated. It is the process where solvent cannot dissolve solute. Next, let's proceed to another. Next is, let's proceed to concentration. So concentration of a solution is the proportion of the solute to solvent. So concentration, it is the proportion of a proportion of solute to solvent. So meaning this is the applicable estimated amount of a solvent to dissolve a solute. So let's say for example a cup of water can dissolve a spoon of sugar. So its concentration of the cup of water is a cup spoon. So it is the exact measurement of how a solvent can dissolve a solute. So next, let's proceed to the concentrated. Concentrated is if there is a lot of solute in a solution. So concentrated is there is a lot of solute in a solution. So this is a situation where the solute has more amount than solvent. For example, the water is in a small amount while the solute has a bigger amount. So that process, the solvent cannot dissolve the solute. So basically this concentrated means all about the process where the solute has more volume or more quantity than solvent. So next is everyone understand? Questions? Okay, so let's proceed. Diluted. If there is a low amount of solute than the solution. So diluted, it is the opposite of concentrated. Diluted means the solution has the solute has a low amount than its solution. So basically, here is the solute, in this size is the solute, and solvent is this in a bigger portion. So that is the liquid. Next is miscible. Miscible is two liquid can be mixed to form a solution. So miscible is a process where two liquid substance can be mixed to form a solution. So remember, solution is a process of mixing two substances where its characteristic is such as uniform, it can't be separated, something like that. So example of miscible are for example, milk and water. If we mix the milk and water, that is miscible because they mix. They all mix together. However, this immiscible is the opposite. It is the two liquid cannot be mixed to form a solution. For example, for example, such as soy sauce and oil or water and oil. So, water and oil will not mix together. So, the water will be put in the lower portion and the oil will put in the upper portion. So that is immiscible. So everyone have questions? Clarification? None? Okay, I will ask question. What is solution again if everyone listens to my discussion? Okay, solution is a process of mixture where one substance is being dissolved into another substance. Now, what are the two components of solution? What? Solvent and solute. So what is solvent? Solvent is the substance that dissolves the other substance, while solute is the substance that being dissolved. Okay, very good. Can anyone give me an example where they use solution in their everyday life? Okay, when cooking. So when cooking, you put what? You put salt in the water to have the water salty taste. Now, and to conclude our discussion, what have we discussed today? Anyone? Okay, we have discussed what is solution, which means it is a process of mixtures where it's a mixture of two substances where one substance is being dissolved and the other substance dissolves. Next, another. Okay, the components of solution, correct. We have discussed the components of solution, which is solvent and what? Solute. So the solvent is the one that dissolved and the solute is the one that being dissolved. For example, water to sugar solution, the water is the solvent where he will dissolve and the sugar is the solute where he is being dissolved. Is that clear? Did anyone answer? Any questions?